Hi, my name is Dave Carr from Visionary Software again. Back here to talk about CRM rules. We're going to expand on the first video where we showed that we were able to modify our contact form to add a skills inventory section that appears only when the contact type equals end user. That's great. And then we had another request from the sales VP that says, I really want to know what their JavaScript skill level is, a JavaScript skill level, if they're a end user. So can we make that field required at the same time that we show the skills inventory tab? So to do that, we're going to go back and edit our existing rule that we created in video 1 and add a new action and an else action to make that happen. And then we're going to go investigate what all the actions are and what you can do with them. So for example, I'm going to do a quick add to the actions here. If the contact type is end user, I want to show that tab and I want to require that JavaScript field. So we have this is an action that's not pre-built here, so we're going to need to add a new one. So the first time we've shown you the action form that lets you build out anything, as you notice, that action form had a lot of stuff on there, and it was all hidden because we use CRM rules to hide fields we don't need in CRM rules. So this is a required field action we're going to do. I'm going to make the field required. So all we need to know when it's required field is what entity we're talking about here. And this is the contact entity. And we're going to also then identify the field name as JavaScript skill level. So I'm going to search my role skill JavaScript as the field name, and I'm going to set that to required. Now notice this name field up here. We try to make this as easy as possible to build rules. So when you build a rule, we build the name for you. You can of course change that, but that just makes a nice consistency for you to be able to find one again when you want to reuse it next time. So we have now, this is all I need to do to set that JavaScript field to required, and that's going to work just fine. Now, as we noticed, we can toggle back and forth on that contact type field. So you really want the I guess I have done this a couple times. So you really want that rule to also not show, not set it to not required if it's not end user. So I'm going to add that else action, and I'm going to see if I have any not required ones out there in the action library here. See what we have for not. I do. I have a set not required role JavaScript from a previous demo, so we'll just use that. So now we have our rules defined here, two rules here, and this one rule defined. So if the contact type is end user, we're going to show that tab and require that field. Otherwise, I'm going to hide that tab but not require that field. Obviously, it gets some problems if you hide a tab and have a required field on it, so we want to avoid that. So we're going to go through our 4-step process. We've done our rule draft here. That's our new rule. It kicks in the new rule code here, and then validate. We'll compile that code. So actually, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the generated code before we validate. You see we have one action here to set that tab to visible. We're going to have another line here for that set required after I do the validate step. So in validate, we're going to generate the JavaScript and any kind of event handlers. We didn't need to change the event handlers because we want this to run when the form loads or when that contact type field changes. And I can go ahead and take a look at that code now. You can see we've got some other information up there we have to grab, and we are going to actually set required to that field or set it to not required. So there's our new code. We're going to mark that ready to go into CRM, and then we'll deploy it. And again, deploying this rule basically goes into CRM, creates that event handler for the entire contact entity, and the web resource file, and now we're adding a new event handler, a new function to call, or a new action to take when this function's called. So it's the same code it's the same event handler function on the form, but what it's going to do is going to be different. So I'm going to go check out my deployment history to make sure that publish worked, and it did. So I'm now going to head over to open that form up. We can use F5 to open that form, to reload the form, which will kick in the new JavaScript code behind the scenes. And when we do this, we're going to come up, now it says other, so that skills inventory will disappear here when that onload code runs. So if I change it to end user, I now have my skills inventory up, and this little red asterisk tells me that my JavaScript skill level was now required. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. For more information, you can go to crm-rules.com or vscrm.com or send an email to sales@vscrm.com. That's Visionary Software CRM.com.